What's up? Today we're talking about the new iPhone 15 Pro, which I'm shooting on right now using the internal microphone. And I will do so throughout the whole video to show you what the new iPhone 15 Pro is capable of. And of course, I'm recording to an external SSD here, so otherwise my space would fill up quickly. And I would actually say that if you're just a normal user, you want to capture family shots or your vacation or so just for yourself, then I would not upgrade to that. For that, the upgrades are clearly too low. But for content creators like me that want their videos to look good, this upgrade is actually huge, and I just figured that out by doing a trip here since yesterday where I got lots of shots with the iPhone. I actually used it more than my normal cameras, but it's also not perfect. There are still some issues that Apple could improve, so let's get into it. Holy fuck.
Locations to bring me to.
I didn't know that it's that bad here. You never see that on Google Maps. Yeah, don't always follow Google Maps when you're in Thailand.
Wait, you fell off the bike?
Yeah, I fell off the bike, I told you.
I didn't hear, I was just thinking you something with the brake, you told me.
My back brake, it's completely bended over. We were able to fix it with this tool and stepping a bit. Now it's working again, my back brake. That's actually why I love Thailand so much. Like, you always find people here if you have any problems that help you pretty much instantly. Not just Thailand, actually in Indonesia or so on. It's like everywhere the same, and people are so kind. Okay, let's directly address the elephant in the room, and that is the new Apple Log profile, which I think is also the big reason why this iPhone is a huge upgrade for content creators. Now, I will also show you a few before and afters here so that you can see how it looks before and after color grading, or also basic color corrections. And obviously, having a log profile mainly means that you get more dynamic range. If you don't know what dynamic range is, it means that you get more details in the highlights and the shadows at the same time. And that makes your footage look a lot more professional, because that is what you usually get with more expensive cameras. Cheaper cameras usually don't give you that, but it seems like the iPhone solves that now, which is great. But there's also one more thing about the Apple Log profile, and that is sharpness. Usually before, with the HDR profile on the iPhone 14 Pro and 13 Pro, etc., the dynamic range already was pretty good, but it looked kind of artificial, over sharp. It had this digital iPhone look to it. And now with this Apple Log profile, that seems to be resolved. It doesn't have this digital over sharpened look anymore. It actually looks good, and I can perfectly match that footage to my other cameras, which is great. It's actually very important for me. That's actually the main reason why I think that this is a big upgrade for content creators. Your footage just doesn't look like it's being shot on an iPhone anymore. But as mentioned before, it's also not perfect. There are a few issues. And the first one is that when you record with the Apple Camera app, which is the fastest way of capturing your footage, you can only record in Apple ProRes. I think it's 42HQ, so the files are huge. There's no option to record in HEVC or so, as you can do in HDR, which really sucks. I don't understand why. So you either want to record on an SSD drive, or you want to get a lot of storage for your phone, which is expensive, or you have to offload your files all the time while you're on the go. So it's definitely a downer. And the Apple Camera app also has less controls. It pretty much wants to do everything automatically. Now, I oftentimes solve that in the camera app by long pressing somewhere where I want to focus and set my exposure, and then dragging my finger up or down to set the exposure that I want to have. So it's not like that you don't have any control over your shot, but you can't specifically control the shutter speed and the ISO. It's usually not a big problem. It handles that pretty good, but in some situations you just want to have that bit more control. And you also don't have a display LUT in the Apple Camera app, so you actually see the flat looking log footage, but you don't see how it will look later when you color grade the footage. And that sucks a little bit, because it takes the fun of shooting away, and sometimes you already want to get an idea of how it will look after you color graded it. I think Apple will probably do that in the iPhone 16 or so. It's probably a feature that they will use to make people upgrade again. But of course, there are also solutions to problems, and the solution for now is, at least for most of those problems, or the biggest ones, that you can use the BlackMagic camera app, which is free. So let's talk a little bit more about the Blackmagic camera app. And like the first great thing about this is that you can actually record log in HEVC. It doesn't work perfectly now. Like usually I would have to set it to ProRes first, then set the Apple log profile, then go back in the menu to switch it to HEVC, because otherwise it would not actually shoot in log and it resets all the time. So it still seems to be a little bit buggy, but you can do it at least if you have the time to set it up every time you start the app or whenever that occurs. So it's not perfect, but it's usable. And the Blackmagic camera app gives you a lot more control over your shutter speed and ISO, also your white balance there. That's actually very important. I find the white balance more important to control than the shutter speed and ISO, because the Apple camera app handles that pretty well automatically, except for if you want to use ND filters, for example, then obviously you want to have perfect control over your shutter speed. Otherwise the results won't be good. But what I like the most about the Blackmagic camera app is actually the new cloud storage functionality, because every time you record a video, it can automatically create a proxy file for you and upload both the proxy file and also the video file to the Blackmagic cloud storage, and it's automatically available in your DaVinci Resolve project. Now, this sounds more like a feature for people that want to do news or something like that and quickly want to get that out there, and maybe it has to be edited quickly. But I find that also huge for content creators like myself, because let's say, for example, I'm sitting at home, I'm editing a video, and I think, oh, there I could insert some more shots of maybe product bureau or something like that. And I'm oftentimes a bit lazy, because I would have to set up my camera, make sure that all the settings are right, and like this and that, which probably takes me like 15, 20 minutes quickly if it's not set up already, which it usually isn't. I should do that, yeah. And in that case, I could just quickly grab my phone, get the shots, it automatically transfers into DaVinci Resolve. I don't have to create any proxy files or so, and I can continue editing. So I actually think it's very worth paying like $15 per month or whatever it is for these 500 gigabytes that you get. It's at least enough for like uploading all the proxy files, etc. And you can also use the footage from other apps and even your camera if you download that to your iPhone 15 Pro via the new USB-C port, and that also gets uploaded directly. And if the files are a bit too big, you can also choose to only upload the proxy files in the app. I think that's actually everything that I wanted to talk about with the iPhone 15 Pro. Just wanted to give you a quick update here, because yeah, for most people it will probably not be something huge, but if you're a content creator and you care about the video quality, then you should definitely use that. And don't be scared of log, like not just on the iPhone, but generally. I know like log, oh, you have to color grade it and takes longer in post, etc. But that's not how it is. Like color grading log today basically means just that you tell DaVinci Resolve what log profile you shot in, and it automatically does all the corrections for you. Or in Final Cut, you can also just select in the information menu of each clip what log profile it was shot in. Maybe it even recognizes that automatically on iPhone footage. Or you can use a conversion LUT and the footage directly looks good. And if you shoot in log and you just do this basic step of just converting the log footage to normal looking colors, which is super fast, then your videos already look better than probably 95 or maybe even 99% of all videos on YouTube, because you have more dynamic range. So your highlights are not blown out. You can actually see the sky. Generally, has a more pleasing look, a nicer curve to it. So even if you don't want to color grade your videos, but you only do this log conversion, I would strongly suggest doing that, because your videos will look so much better. And even if you want to give it a look, it's pretty much only applying a LUT and quickly changing the exposure and white balance a little bit of the clips to match everything, which honestly for most of my videos only takes me about 10 minutes. So in my opinion, there's really no reason anymore why you would not shoot log. So consider that. That's it for today. I hope this video is helpful. If you don't know if you want to get the iPhone 15 Pro or not, my opinion, if you care about quality of your video footage and you want to actually edit those videos, then yes, get the iPhone 15 Pro. It is a huge upgrade. Also consider subscribing. There will definitely be more videos about the iPhone 15 Pro. I'm also considering shooting some cinematic videos with it, so you will see more in the future. See you soon.